Good morning. Good morning. It is Friday, January the 17th. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. It is a nice and cool morning, but there are some things that we are tracking in the world of weather. First off, let's look ahead to our weekend forecast. Saturday, warmer temperatures, clouds around. That's going to be the pick of the litter, as will be at least a bit drier. 77 degrees, our high temperature. Then storms coming in on Sunday. And that, my friends, is impact weather. So we need to plan for that. So let's just start with that. And then we'll move into what probably is the $1,000,000 question that everybody's wanting to know. Is it going to snow in Florida? Turns out it does from time to time. All right, let's take a look at our futurecast and just kind of dial into the rain chances this weekend, okay? So first off, through the day today, clouds around, probably going to see a little bit more sunshine around lunchtime and then into the afternoon. Could even start to see a few sprinkles coming in. Futurecast kind of dialing that up. It's going to be a tonight thing, all right? Not a big problem through the day. Then for our Saturday, a few showers, but as the sun comes up, we actually look to be pretty good. Then we look up to the north, that rain starts to enter in. And I'm going to bring it full screen just so that we can really dial into our Sunday forecast, all right? We'll wake up 5 a.m. Sunday morning, and yeah, there's going to be storms north of us. All right, brunch plans may not be terrible, but notice into the late morning, early afternoon time frame, we get waves of energy pulling through, and those waves of energy give us the opportunity to see some showers and thunder showers. So Sunday, clearly not looking beautiful, right? Waves of rain continuing right through the afternoon into the evening. And that is why we're calling Sunday impact weather. When we look at the overall forecasting, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking our northern spots could get about 2 inches of rain, the metro 1 to 2 inches of rain, and our southern spots looking more like an inch of rainfall. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at for this weekend. Then we clear out for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Loving that. Okay. It's going to be chillier, but at least we'll get some sunshine. Then the weather gets real complex. So let's take some time. All right. There's that cool, dry air that's diving in for Monday. Then another storm system kind of lifts up into South Florida early Tuesday. And then another storm system starts working in over the course of the day, Tuesday into Wednesday. And what we're looking at there, especially for North Florida, is the potential of some snow. Not for us necessarily, but some snow, okay? Um I've seen some pretty significant hype on this, and I just need to make sure everybody understands there from time to time can be some winter precipitation, especially in North Florida. So what we can do is we can look at some raw model data and we can do this together. And I want to make it's almost like tracking tropical weather, right? Like I want to make sure everybody remembers all of those things that we always discuss, right? Computer models breed confidence. Okay, consistency in computer models breeds confidence. So let's roll through time. All right, there's a couple of those showers for Saturday, rolling into Sunday. There's the rain on Sunday. Now, let's familiarize ourselves with what we're looking at here. The greens that we're seeing is rain. Purple shades are going to be freezing rain. The oranges are going to be sleet. And then the blues and purples are going to be snow. Another thing, you see those lines. Those are thickness lines. Okay. And from time to time, I may switch from thickness to this mode, which is going to be the 850 millibar temperatures. So about 25% up in the atmosphere, what do the temperatures look like? Because remember, you don't necessarily need freezing temperatures at the surface to get winter precipitation, but you do need it in the atmospheric column above, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive here, all right? We don't do this a lot, but we do it sometimes. All right, so there's the Sunday rains. You notice how, look at North Florida, you see that red line is the 546 line. It's in orange. You see how the line up around Savannah is a 540 line and it turns blue. That 540 thickness is usually when you start to get into cold air. And if we go halfway up the atmosphere, you can see atmospherically 850 millibar. 0 degrees Celsius is North Florida, -3 degrees Celsius is up into Savannah. So again, you can see how like the thickness doesn't necessarily correlate to the surface with anyway. Okay. So here's Tuesday, Tuesday morning. All right, so we're starting to see some rains building into Florida, and we're starting to see some of the bluish colors and the pinkish colors. So that's going to be snow and freezing rain. Not talking about accumulation necessarily, but this is the GFS, mind you. The GFS indicating some snow and some freezing rain into North Florida. Now, continuing through time, here's another push of energy. A lot of pink. That's freezing rain. All right. And that's kind of clipping through the I-10 corridor. So I would say at the moment, confidence is growing that parts of Florida could get into some winter crap, honestly. It's not good. Freezing rain and sleet are terrible. They're not good. Notice over us, it's all green. We're not, the GFS is not talking about anything but rain for Central Florida. Okay. In this moment, all right, this is Tuesday night. Let's just switch over to temperatures. Max temp 50s, minimum temp in the 40s. Okay. And yeah, it looks like 850 temperature for us is going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 degrees Celsius. So above freezing, which is why we're not looking at anything freezing over us. But up to the north, that 850 temp drops to 0, which is where it kind of does its thing, right? Okay. So that's the GFS. And then as that moves out, we're just looking at rain after on the 25th. Although notice the 25th does even indicate the potential of some snow and sleet in North Florida. Now, that's way out. We're not going to do that. So bottom line is, you notice that the GFS is now starting to show some wintry stuff in North Florida. All right, let's switch over from the GFS. Actually, let's go back. That's the 6Z GFS. Let's go back to the 0Z GFS and just eyeball it. All right. Same idea. Some snow and some freezing rain potentially across the I-10 corridor. Same thing through the 25th. So the GFS has started adding more and more of this. All right, let me go to the 18Z from yesterday. A little bit of it, a little bit of it. Let's go back to the 12Z from yesterday. Not. So the GFS has started trending more and more of this idea that we could see some freezing rain and some sleet up into North Florida. Accumulation does not look to be a thing. As a matter of fact, if I go to winter and I go to like this is snowfall. Although interestingly enough, it hints that there could be a tenth, 2/10 of an inch of accumulation. That's the current run of the GFS. That's 1 run back, 2 runs back, 3 runs back, nothing. So you can see that there's been at least a few runs where there has been some indication of some little bit. Okay. All right. So that's kind of where we're looking at there. That's the GFS, as interesting as it may be. Let's switch over to the European. This is the 6Z, so the current run of the European model. All right, rain, mess. Flat out mess. Okay, that's the current 6Z run of the Euro. We go back a run. Still kind of talking about a mess. Down to like Alachua County. Go to the 18Z run. That mess is getting into like North Marion County. That's 2 runs ago. 3 runs ago. 3 runs ago is into Flagler, Marion, Sumter. 4 runs ago wasn't really picking up on it as much. So I think that what we're starting to see is this consistency among model runs and consistency among models that North Florida, not Central Florida, but North Florida may have some little bit of a winter episode. Not the craziest thing you've ever heard. Right? There's the European snowfall accumulations. Kind of trying to figure it out. Right? North Florida. Do I think that that means that Wesh would send me up to like Tallahassee? I wouldn't put it past him. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Now let's switch back over. Let's look at the Canadian model just because we're doing the things. Canadian model. All right. Now I know y'all are gonna tease because the Canadian model is a cold country. Yeah. Anyway. Rain, 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 rain. Yeah, so the Canadian's a little bullish, right? So there's at least indication how far north or how far south it goes. It's a little early to tell, but I would just say this, okay? When talking about winter precipitation, we know there's going to be a ton of moisture in the area. It's looking like a really sloppy pattern. But it's the timing of the cold air. When does the cold air interact with that moisture? All right. Consistency breeds confidence, or as I wrote on the graphic, trends are your friends. So at this point in time, I think, and the National Weather, as a matter of fact, the National Weather Service in Jacksonville, who handles North Florida. Let me just find what they wrote because I thought it was interesting the way that they worded it. The message can't be displayed because a problem repeatedly occurred. Love when that happens. All right, it's downloading it now. Stand by. I just want to read. Okay. There is a medium chance, 30% to 50%, of snow in a wintry mix across southeast Georgia Tuesday and Wednesday, with best chance for snow accumulations north of Homerville to Waycross to Everett. There is a low chance, 20 to 30%, of freezing rain in a winter mix across the Suwannee River Valley and portions of the Florida I-10 corridor Tuesday and Wednesday. Snowfall and freezing rainfall accumulations are still being resolved and vary based on forecast models. But for planning, we chose to highlight the potential for freezing rain accumulations greater than 1/10 of an inch and snow accumulations greater than 1 inch in the attached briefing. So anyway, this isn't hype. Because the National Weather Service is also discussing this, and the models are showing this consistency. And that's the one thing that I think is so important when it comes to chatting about weather, right? Social media rologists will talk about anything that a computer model shows in chaos. But one thing that the National Weather Service will offer, and that I will offer, and again, I can't speak to anybody else, right? But the one thing that I will always fight for is to share with you perspective, right? Anybody can go to WebMD to get a diagnosis of death, right? Because that's what WebMD always says, is that we're dying. But you go to a doctor to kind of read through and give you the information. And I am certainly not going to say that I'm a doctor, but I've been doing weather for more than 2 decades now. 24, Jesus Christ, 24 years. So my goal is to offer some experience to continue looking, not just computer models, but experience. Stop short of calling it wisdom. I know what I am, I know what I'm not, right? So, in looking at the 7-day forecast together here, all right? In looking at the 7-day forecast, we've got the thunderstorms in there on Sunday. That's impact weather because it's kind of a crummy day. Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's going to be chilly. We're going to see some sunshine. There's that storm system. So we've got the clouds, we've got the rain. The thing that gets interesting is like in those chilliest readings, like we hit 40 at the surface. So this is when we start looking at like the column of air above us, right? How quickly do we hit freezing above us? And as that gets closer, we look at skew T, and if you've watched Coffee Talk for a while, we look at skew T diagrams a lot for severe weather, but you also look at skew-T diagrams a lot when it comes to winter precipitation, because what you're looking at is how saturated is the air mass, how much moisture is there, how far until it goes dry, and then in addition to that, where are there temperature inversions? Where is that freezing point? Because it could be freezing and then, melt and become like freezing precipitation. There's a lot here, right? So as that gets closer and we have better model data, we're going to really continue doing the deep dives. Okay. But at the end of the day, that's why you're here for Coffee Talk. It's not my comedy, certainly. It's so that we can be together and chat about the chaos that is weather. Weather is always just so all over the place, right? And so to that point, I got you. But remember, social media virologists are always going to post the chaos. I'm going to give that perspective to you. And to that point, like I did my little short video yesterday, I'm going to do another short video today. Coffee Talk is the deep dive. Those shorter deals are not. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of where we're at. Interesting, you know, interesting. I wanted to look, the problem is our future cast does not go out that far. Let's see here. Yeah, like the problem is our future cast does not go out that far. Oliver says current levels of social trends and political bias and gratification breeds mistrust. That mistrust leads to folks seeking fringe ideas. But one must find their information source that they trust. Like here, give me the data and I will make my own assumptions. Yeah, I mean that's my goal. I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to share with you kind of my feelings on it. But at the end of the day, it's not for me to tell you anything. I'm just going to give you my thoughts. All right, so our future cast doesn't go out that far, of course. But I'm curious, do I even have, like, I don't even know if I have the weather type. So there are modes, right? So this is, this is precip type. Okay, so we do have precip type selected. I was just curious. I'm going to turn clouds off. Yeah, all right. So there's the storms coming through. So as far as it goes out to like early Monday. Yeah, we don't even have the evolution of it starting. I mean, that said, like look up into New York, like blah, big old nasty snowstorm going up there. All right. So Futurecast doesn't go out far enough, right? So, oh well. But at any rate, it's going to be either way. It's going to be interesting because take away all the precipitation, freezing rain, snow discussion in North Florida. Like Saturday's high temperature in Orlando is 77. Monday's high temperature in Orlando is 53. And that average high of 71, I need to change that. It's actually 72. Our average high has changed. Pow pow Kellyanne, you didn't notice. And I get to make fun of her. Average high temperature 72. That happened like 2 days ago. All right, fixed. So anyway, either way is going to be cold. Whether or not we're talking about any winter weather, it's going to feel winter weather. Thank you for the real speak, Leela. Hey man, I'm just a dude sitting here in my house with my dog who has vestibular disease now. So that's sad. I just got a snowblower targeted advertising. That's hilarious. Do you have a note of when the last time it snowed in Central Florida? I feel like it snowed during Marathon. I feel like in '08 or '09, I remember seeing flurries. I was down at like the Carrabba's off Redbug and Tuscaloosa, and I saw it. Problem is like, I know it sleeted a couple of years ago. Yeah. Can you tell the atmosphere temperatures will be in Marion around Monday and Tuesday? Well, so let's talk about these temperatures. First off, so Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Let's look at the high temperatures on Monday. We'll just start there, okay? There's your highs. Like high temperature in Ocala, 48 degrees Monday. There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jeannie Rowan. Yeah. Oh my God, this was a rough weekend. Destiny. It was a. We went to the emergency. We went to the emergency vet. Like I literally have the bill here. I thought she was. I thought the poor dog was having a stroke. It was awful. Oh my God, it was awful. So those are high temperatures on Monday afternoon. Here's Tuesday morning. Okay. You can see where, like, you get some moisture in this environment and it's going to be interesting. Here's Tuesday afternoon. And then Wednesday morning. Stella's 14, so doesn't make it any easier. Right? So Wednesday morning, that's the interesting time frame, right? Like, that's where Wednesday morning could be interesting. You know, you look at the model data on Wednesday, and you got that storm going up the East Coast, but it's going to be that Wednesday morning time frame. That's where it could be super, 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 super interesting. To me, at least. That storm system, all that moisture, and then that thrust of additional moisture, like that Wednesday morning time frame. To me, like what I don't even know what my schedule is. Checking, standby. Yeah, like see, could I end up in the weather lab in like Marion, Alachua County on Wednesday morning? My gut says it's going to be a really interesting morning. Either way, look, either way, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. Jan says my dog had vestibular disease, common in older dogs. I was terrified too. Well, and so working on my instrument rating, a significant part of working on your instrument rating and flying is understanding the vestibular system and overcoming it. And the first thing I noticed in flying in clouds is I get the leans. My body wants to turn. So now that I see Stella having the leans, it's just like, this is just so sad. Yeah. So anyway, it's sad. I'm going to guess that I'll be in the weather lab Wednesday morning. Don't quote me, but I'm going to guess. Yeah. Should I invest in a warm coat? I mean, it's winter. We'll just say that. Millie says, so sorry for Stella. She's definitely a family. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Hope you don't have to drive him in that mess. Well, if we're taking the weather lab somewhere, then it isn't going to be me driving. But yes, point taken. Terry says, Denellen will welcome you. We're always cooler than Ocala. In which way? Or in all the ways? See? So anyway, um, we'll see how this plays out. You know, I think at the end of the day, winter's very interesting. And for me, on a personal note, I'm really watching this because I'm working on our long range forecast. You know? Katie, yeah. Poor guy. These pups, we don't deserve dogs. I've always said I like dogs more than people, without a shadow of a doubt. I like dogs more than people. I saw somebody asking about inauguration forecast. It's going to be below freezing the entire time in DC. Tony made this graphic. What did he do? I don't. Yeah, 1921. That is really cold. So folks up there in DC are going to be bundling on up. Meanwhile, here in Central Florida, it's not going to be that cold, but it's going to be chilly for us. So yeah, Mary Taylor, finally got to catch you live. Bus picked up early. Hi, good morning. My middle son's birthday today is 5. Happy birthday. Good stuff. Good stuff. Someone asked if it was going to snow on the ceremony. Oh, on Monday? Let's look. don't know that this one, yeah, that's not going to have, hold on. It doesn't look like a big snow threat. Yeah, it doesn't look like a big snow threat. Just cold. So, at least there's that. If you make it to Denellen, stop by Publix and say hello. We'll be working, John says. Yeah. We just never know. We just never know where the news coverage of the day takes us. And I guess that's kind of one of the fun parts of my job. Jeannie Rowan says, thanks for keeping us informed. Have a good Friday. Yeah, dogs are the best. Indeed they are. They are. They are. What goes around comes around. Again, 41 days later. That's the way it looks, Chris. That's the way it looks. Yep. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Anything? Jesse says, can we see out next weekend yet? Trying to make birthday plans. Yeah, let's look at the model data together. Next Saturday, big, and we got that. Next Saturday, big event. It is the Aviation Day, Aerospace and Aviation Day over at the Orlando Sanford International Airport. Look at that. It looks like we've got clearing. So it looks like it's going to be clearing out. That's the Canadian. Let's look at the GFS. Looks like we'll be between systems, but maybe some more winter stuff up north, like a Voltasmere. In terms of temperatures, let's just check out the GFS for next Saturday. A high of 62, a low of 40. So anyway, next Saturday, Aviation Day, I'll be out there emceeing, and Chopper 2 will be out there. You'll get a chance to check out the Chopper. That's always fun. That's kind of cool. Yeah. William, I don't know what you mean. I'm not going to buy a heater for my house. I don't need a new heater for my house. So I don't know what you mean. I'm going to get $3 for a new heater for my I don't know what you mean. Terry's asking about covering plants. You know, if you live up north, looking at next week is probably not a bad idea. I don't think, like, for me in the metro, I don't think we're going to be cold enough that I'm going to need to do it. But up to the north, yeah. All right. Sound good? Are you good? Am I good? Are we good? It's going to be cold, y'all. Are we okay? You okay? Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Does it snow in North Florida? The models are kind of trending in that direction. It happens. It happens. Mickey says, don't look at the freezing rain QPF for the CMC. Well, you know, when you say that, I have to go looking. All right, hold on. You dangle the carrot in front of me. All right. What'd you say? The Canadian? Winter, snowfall, freezing rain total. Oh, God. States, Florida. Look at that. It has freezing rain accumulations. But that's one run of one month. If we go one run back, actually, it's 2 runs back. All right, so it's trending south. Cool beans. Let's hope that doesn't happen. At any rate, it's definitely something to watch. Not hyping, but just something to watch. All right? All right, listen. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you today for WESH 2 News at noon and at 4. And of course, I'll be posting a reel later on just to update you on what the latest model data says. All right? Enjoy, and thank you very much. Jen says, hugs to Stella. Thank you.